Ever feel like you're navigating life with a map drawn by a toddler? Yeah, me too. We're bombarded with advice, snippets of wisdom, and enough self-help jargon to make your head spin. But what if we cut through the noise and just listened? Listen to that little voice inside that whispers, sometimes shouts, what we truly need. It's easy to get caught up in the comparison game, scrolling through curated highlight reels, thinking everyone else has it figured out. They don't. We're all just fumbling through, trying to make sense of the chaos, one slightly less clueless step at a time. And that's okay. Actually, it's more than okay. It's real. You know, they say everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, well, it's not the end. It sounds simple, almost trite, but think about it for a second. How much time do we waste agonizing over things that haven't even happened yet? Worrying about a future we can't control? It's like renting out space in your mind to problems that might never even show up. And the rent is expensive. Another gem. You can't change other people, and it's rude to try. Let that sink in. Seriously, how much energy have you spent trying to mold someone into your ideal version of them? It's a losing battle. You're not a sculptor, and they're not clay. Focus on yourself, your growth, your happiness, your journey. That's where the real magic happens. And while we're on the subject of others, stop expecting them to give you more respect than you give yourself. That's a hard pill to swallow, isn't it? But it's the truth. Self-respect is the foundation of everything. It's not arrogance. It's not ego. It's knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less. It's the quiet confidence that allows you to walk away from situations that drain you, from people who diminish you. Here's a question to ponder. If you could go back and whisper something to your younger self, what would it be? What wisdom have you gleaned from the roller coaster of life that you wish you'd known sooner? Hold that thought. Now let's talk about hope. Hope is a beautiful thing, but it's not a strategy. You can't just sit around hoping things will magically improve. You have to take action. You have to be proactive. You have to be the architect of your own destiny. Hope is the fuel, but action is the engine. And speaking of action, there are two ways to do anything. The right way and again. Perfection is a myth. Embrace the stumbles, the missteps, the oops moments. They're not failures, they're lessons. They're the breadcrumbs on the path to growth. You're never too old to cut people out of your life. That's a tough one, right? But sometimes it's necessary. Toxic relationships, whether they're with family, friends, or romantic partners, can be incredibly damaging. They can drain your energy, erode your self-esteem, and hold you back from reaching your full potential. It takes courage to let go, but sometimes it's the most loving thing you can do for yourself. A wise man can learn more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. Think about that for a moment. Adversity can be a powerful teacher. Challenges can force you to grow, to adapt, to become stronger. Don't shy away from the tough stuff. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it shape you into the person you're meant to be. People treating you poorly is a reflection on them, not you. Remember that. Their negativity, their insecurities, their baggage, it has nothing to do with you. Don't take it personally. Just keep shining your light and let them fade into the background. And speaking of shining, don't make yourself available too much for anyone. You will lose importance. Your time, your energy, your attention, these are precious commodities. Don't give them away freely. Be selective. Invest in the relationships that truly matter, the people who lift you up, the connections that nourish your soul. Just because the boat rocks doesn't mean it's time to jump overboard. Life is full of ups and downs. There will be storms, there will be turbulence. But don't abandon ship at the first sign of trouble. Sometimes you just have to ride it out. Sometimes the roughest seas lead to the most beautiful destinations. The more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you. Self-awareness is key. The more you understand your values, your passions, your purpose, the less you'll be swayed by the opinions of others, the less you'll be distracted by the noise. You'll be grounded, centered, and unstoppable. When you try to please everybody, you almost always please nobody. It's impossible to make everyone happy, so stop trying. Focus on pleasing yourself. Follow your own path, listen to your own inner voice. That's where true happiness lies. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. That's not just a feel-good platitude, it's the truth. The human potential is limitless. Believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities. Believe in the power of your dreams. Stop trying to be happy. You can't be happy all the time, and that's okay. Life is a spectrum of emotions. There will be joy, there will be sadness, there will be everything in between. Embrace the full range of human experience. Don't chase happiness, chase meaning, chase purpose, chase growth. Once a problem is solved, its simplicity is amazing. Isn't that true? Looking back, things that once seemed insurmountable often appear surprisingly simple. That's because you've grown, you've learned, you've evolved. The challenges of today will be the stepping stones of tomorrow. If you're trying to break a habit, don't say this is the last time I'm doing it to yourself. Instead, say this is the first time I'm not doing it. It's a subtle shift in perspective, but it can make all the difference. It's about focusing on the positive, on the future, on the person you're becoming. You don't like everybody, so don't worry about everybody liking you. Let's be real, not everyone is going to appreciate you, your personality, or your perspective, and that's perfectly fine. You're not here to win a popularity contest. You're here to live your life authentically and unapologetically. Your past does not equal your future. Your story is not over. You are not defined by your mistakes, your setbacks, or your failures. You are defined by how you rise after you fall, how you learn from your experiences, how you keep moving forward. Sometimes you can make all the right choices and then have to sit there and watch them all crumble around you. Life is unpredictable. Things don't always go according to plan, but even in the midst of chaos, you have a choice. You can choose to be a victim, or you can choose to be a survivor. You can choose to give up, or you can choose to keep going. Never be so kind you forgot to be clever, and never be so clever you forgot to be kind. It's about balance. It's about finding the sweet spot between compassion and wisdom, between empathy and discernment. Nothing that life has to offer is worth the price of worry. Worry is a thief. It steals your joy, your peace, your present moment. Let go of worry. Embrace the unknown. Trust that everything will work out in the end. You stop explaining yourself when you realize people only understand from their level of perception. Don't waste your breath trying to justify yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. Focus on those who see you, who appreciate you, who celebrate you. Someday isn't even a real day. It's a fantasy, a procrastination station. Stop waiting for someday. Start living today. Don't hang on to your mistakes just because you spent a lot of time making them. Let go, learn from them, and move on. Don't let your past hold you hostage. Never take for granted the time you spend with the people you keep. It could be over any day. Cherish the moments, the memories, the connections. Live in reality as it is, not as you wish it was. Acceptance is not resignation. It's about seeing things as they are, without judgment, without resistance. It's about finding peace in the present moment,